Hey, how's it going today? Yeah, I remember you. You were in a couple of months ago about a concealed carry handgun. That's awesome. What brings you back today? Nice. So we're looking at getting a home defense shotgun, huh? Oh, that's a good progression. I tell people all the time, it really boils down to sort of personal preference, what you like. Some people like that a handgun, nice and lightweight, others like the shotgun because it's delivering a lot more power. It it really boils down to a personal decision of what you like more, and then even then just within the shotguns, there's just so many options out there. But hey, I tell people, get a handgun, get a shotgun, try to do like a little bit of each, and kind of see what you like. But the one thing I am going to tell you is I'm a little bit of a smaller shop here, so I have a pretty good selection, and I'll kind of go over with you everything. If there's a gun that you've been looking at online, you've been seeing some YouTube videos or whatever about, just let me know. I can always order it for you. It's not a big deal. The other thing I'm gonna tell you is I'll explain it in the terms. There's a really nice shotgun. It's more for hunting. It's called the Beretta A400, and there is two different calibers for it, 12 and 20. There's three different barrel lengths, 26, 28, and 30. And then there's like 7 different camo patterns. So even between just one gun, there's like 30 different guns that branch off of that. So you can't possibly keep everything in stock. But I kind of have a nice spread here that I'll go over with you and just kind of figure out sort of what you're after and what works best with you. Now, the other thing, just sort of with any firearm in general, is the fancier you get, obviously the more money it'll cost. So that's something to kind of be open-minded about. It's the same thing with handguns or anything. So do you have kind of a budget or? Okay, that's fair. So I'm gonna kind of work. I'll start off down here at the cheapest option for you, and then we'll go up to my most expensive option. And like I said, we're really just today going to try to figure out what style you like, and kind of go from there. So once we get the basic down of what you like, I can kind of go with some other options that I may not have here in the store and just see what you'd be interested in. How's that sound? Perfect. So we're gonna start off here with this guy down here, and really there's a couple different styles you have. Like I said, I'll show you these in just a minute, but the two big ones you're going to come across are pump action and then semi-automatic. So it's just some things to consider, and like I said, we're just kind of going over your options here, seeing what works best with you. For semi-automatic, if you're unfamiliar, all you do is you just keep pulling the trigger, and a round will keep cycling out. Whereas a pump action, you have to actually manually pump it every time to eject the case you just shot out and load a new one in. Now, typically your pump actions are going to be a bit on the cheaper side, just because again you're doing all the work, whereas the semi-autos, now you have more internals to worry about. So the pump's a little bit cheaper. Now, again, it sort of depends on what you're after. I tell people if you can afford a semi, that's the way I'd like to go. And strictly because one of the things you have to consider is, let's say we're going off of a home defense scenario here. One of the things you have to consider is you're going to be nice and deep in sleep, and all of a sudden you're going to hear a window smash, your alarm's going off, whatever it may be. There's a lot going on, and you don't know that situation. Is there one guy breaking in? Is there 10 guys breaking in? It's going to be a very hectic, very chaotic situation. And the problem with this is, a lot of the times, they even say for handguns, if you're truly in sort of a fight or flight mode, the blood in your hands and feet can actually get pulled towards your body because it's trying to survive. So even then, for a handgun, some of your, you know, hand-eye coordination here kind of goes out the window. So it's just kind of something else to consider. For a pump action, you're going to have to, you know, shoot, and then now it's another step in the chaos of things to remember to pump it every single time that you have to shoot. Now, ideally, again, maybe one person's breaking in, you pull the trigger once, the threat's neutralized, but there's a lot of little bits and pieces. I tell people, with especially just a defense scenario or home defense, whatever kind of scenario, there's really never going to be a black and white. It's never going to be a simple, oh, one guy's breaking in, I'm going to catch him off guard, shoot him, and, you know, I'm safe. There's a lot more that's going to be happening, and it just, like I said, they are a little bit cheaper, which is nice, but it's another thing to sort of consider. So it's just, like I said, just something to kind of think about. We're going to start off here at my cheapest option, which is the Mossberg Maverick 88. This bad boy is only $299. It's really, and that's actually kind of cool because it comes with a longer barrel you can hunt with. It's just a really bare bones, just black synthetic on the grip and the stock here. There's no kind of fancy sights, it's just a little tiny bead here. And it is just as bare bones and bland as you could get. The other thing you'll notice is a lot of these barrels here are typically around like 18 inches. Some of them go up to 20 inches, but you don't want a really, really long barrel for home defense. You want to kind of keep it smaller. And in that instance where, you know, if you have to round a corner, you don't have your barrel way out there where you could be hitting things, or heaven forbid someone could actually grab your barrel as you're going around a corner. So just, again, little things to consider, but most of your home defense kind of builds are going to be, like I said, 18 inches, and sometimes up to 20. I really wouldn't go over 20, but and now the other thing to consider here is the smaller the barrel, you typically have to watch it because here's where all your ammo's stored. So something like this guy, which I'll get to in a little bit, it has a longer tube on it, so it holds more ammo. So yes, it's a 20-inch barrel, it's a little bit longer, but you also get extra rounds because of that. So, like I said, it's really gonna boil down to a personal preference of, like, do you like the size of it? Do you like the capacity? And some of the features it may or may not have. But the Maverick 88 is sort of as bare bones as you can get. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. It really does. So if that's you, you're sort of looking to say, hey, I don't want anything fancy. I'm gonna throw this in a closet somewhere. I'm gonna beat it up. I don't care about it. Then the Maverick 88 might be for you. Next up here, we're going to move on to the Mossberg 590. This is sort of a staple in home defense, or just in guns in general. A lot of people even hunt with 590s, or you can just sort of do whatever with them. This is the same thing, so you're getting not a lot of fancy features. This one does come already with the swivels on it, but it does. Yeah, they all have a pretty good rubber pad on the back here. 12 gauge can sometimes be unforgiving depending on the load you're shooting. So if you're shooting a lot of, like, you know, buckshot or slugs or anything, that can really kick your shoulder after a while. So I think most of them, though, are going to come with a pretty solid rubber butt pad. But if, let's say you find a used one out there or whatever, switching this out is usually pretty cheap, and your shoulder will thank you for it. But same thing, the $590, it goes up in price a little bit. It's $500, but you get sort of Mossberg quality. You can tell just by holding this that it, again, no fancy features, but you can tell this feels a lot better made, and you get $200 worth of quality over the Maverick 88. It just feels a lot more solid, has a little bit more weight to it, but is overall really solid. And same thing, just basic gun. You really can't go wrong with these. Now, next up, we're gonna keep climbing here. So it's pretty big. This is the big 20-inch. Now, again, there's all kinds of features and everything. This one here can shoot the little shorty shells if you want. I think it holds like 16 of the shorties, but anyway, this is the 590 Tactical. So what you'll notice over the standard model is this one it's basically the same gun reliability-wise, but has a lot more fancier features to it. So you can get these, this one doesn't, but you can get these where you can put the ammo in the stock here. You can actually hold a couple extra rounds. This one has the ghost ring sights on it, so that way it's a little bit fancier than just the standard bead here. So this one here has sort of a tactical style foregrip on it. That way, you see it's got all these M-lock slots in it. So you could put a foregrip on here, help you rack it a little easier. You could put a flashlight on here. You can do all sorts of things. Again, kind of just more modernized, more tactical. So it gives you options with a handguard like this. But again, basically the same gun as that 590, but it has a lot more features to it. If you're gonna go with a pump, like something like this is what I recommend. That way you just, again, you have a lot of options for what you want to do. I'm a fan of having a flashlight on your gun for home defense. That way, again, it's just, you don't have to worry about, like, where's my light, where's my gun, where's this, where's that. It's all in one package here. So next up, we have the Beretta A300 Ultima. So this is where you get into the semi-auto platform. And I have one more I'm going to show you after this, but in my humble opinion, this right here is sort of the best bang for your buck. So this is $1,050, and you get, it's got M-lock slots here if you want to, and on the bottom, so you could do a foregrip, you can do a flashlight. It's really light. The problem with like the 590 is it's got that weight behind it. This is really, really light. Same thing, have your ghost ring sights. It's got really aggressive texture on it, which, again, that's where I talk about it being a personal decision. For me, I like it. You're probably going to be sweating, whatever happens. Heck, even if you get blood on your hands, you have the texture here to, you have a good grip on this thing. Semi-auto, like I said, in my humble opinion, if you're going to go with pump, I'd go with the 590S. Sort of your best bang for your buck at the $1,000 price point. This is a just really light, just really easy to maneuver gun. And you get that semi-auto function, which in my opinion is huge for self-defense. The not it's been a long day for me if you can't tell. Not but least last. I'm having a day here. This is the Beretta 1301. Now it is incredibly similar, and they even have a black version that looks just like this, but you'll also notice the price tag now. You're up to $1,900 for this thing. the all black version is still $1,700, so it's still $700 more, and that is all in the gassing and the bolt and sort of the internals of this gun. So this is just that much more of a smoother shooting experience. You can't pull this trigger fast enough that this gun can handle. Like, this gun can absolutely handle anything you throw at it, and it can handle it fast. They have all different kinds of styles for this, so it has a lot of the same features. This one has just a pistol grip stock on it. Makes it tactical. So some people like, if you're in this position here, you can kind of transition really easily. So again, like I've been saying, all the features are really going to boil down to what you like, and that's why I recommend get into a gun shop, get your hands on some of these things, and kind of go from there. Because at the end of the day, like this right here versus just a standard stock like I showed you on the A300 makes a huge difference for some people. Some people really like this style, some people really like that style, and like I said, it's really going to boil down to what works best for you and what you like. But this is just the ultimate sort of, a lot of people like this actually over the Benelli M4, just sort of out of the box. Any kind of YouTuber you watch, they're usually saying high praises about this. But again, you're at that almost $2,000 price point. Again, now it kind of boils down to how much is your life worth, is what some people will say. You know, I'll put this back up here for a sec. But again, I tell people it's what you can afford, it's what you're comfortable with. Absolutely, like, these are great home defense pieces. If you can't afford them, then don't put a financial strain on yourself. Again, like a Mossberg, even this standard 590 here, will do you just fine. It's just, again, what kind of preferences do you have? What do you like? And kind of go from there. But if you have any questions, let me know. Any other guns you want to see, let me know. And I'll see you later.